Seats! Tight! Seat! Adjust! Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Let's try that again. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Who knows who I am?
Student Officer Booker, you are the Chief of Police, sir.
Very good, Student Officer Booker. Have a seat. That's right. My name is Hank Stawinski, and I have the privilege of being the 17th Chief of the Prince George's County Police Department. You have the privilege of hearing from the head of this government and the prior Chief of Police, and then some of you have the privilege for working for the City of Bowie Police Department. Some of you have the privilege of working with the Maryland National Capital Park Police. Some of you have the privilege of working with the Office of the Sheriff. You're going to hear from those leaders. You're going to hear from each of the deputies for the Prince George's County Police, and then I'm going to wrap things up. This is not going to take an awful long time, but I expect your full and undivided attention because the people who have come to spend a minute with you have incredibly busy schedules. You should conclude from their presence that they are invested in what you do and who you are, and that in every way, you, as prospective police officers, matter to them. A message you might not hear everywhere in America these days. So with that, I'm going to begin by introducing my predecessor in this office and the current Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for all public safety in Prince George's County, Chief Mark McGaugh. Chief.
Thank you, Chief. We got a lot of people to talk to today, so I'm going to be very, very brief. 34 years ago, I sat right where you're sitting. Not in this building, but I sat in the same seats. So I know what you're going through. All these commanders up here know what you're going through. There's a level you have to hit. You have to hit it. And this department is one of the best departments in the country. You don't hit that mark, you've got to go. Not bad people, just you're not living up to that mark. But you're only in this room because we know where you came from, we know your character, we know you can hit that mark. You've got great, great instructors here, the best in the country. It all depends on you. How bad do you want it? That's what it's going to come down to. And to be honest with you, the first day that you were in this academy, I'm sure they ran you in the ground. You know what that was for? That was your first test. You have heart. How bad do you want to be here? This is not UPS. How bad do you want to be here? You guys have check that one off. You guys, what you did up in your life until this point got you into these seats. So congratulations. You picked one of the best police departments in the country, hands down. But you got to earn these seats every day. You got to earn this badge. When you earn it, you have to earn it every day. You can't have a mistake on this police department. You can't. You're going to make mistakes, but you can't do something intentional. You can't do something that violates the honor of this police department. I know you won't. You've made a great choice. You've got great leadership in the command staff you're going to see. You've got great training. Now it's on you. And I'll leave you with that. Just earn these seats every day. You have to do that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. And now it's my privilege to introduce to you Mr. Rashawn Baker, the County Executive for Prince George's County. Mr. Baker.
Thank you, Chief. I also won't be long. I do want to thank Chief Stawinski, if we can give him a round of applause for doing a great job. That Chief Mark McGaugh. When Chief McGaugh and I came on board in 2010, we were facing hard times in Prince George's County. There was an active FBI investigation going on in the county. County executive had just been arrested. Crime was rising. Sheriff High was here with us, and it required that in order to change not just, the reputation of the county, but the reputation of the police department, the fire department, every aspect of Prince George's County. It required all of us coming together. And what you see before you in the back here of the men and women who are actually going to take you through this journey are the folks who came together and reshaped what Prince George's County's police department, what our relationship with the city of Bowie, what our relationship with the park department is like. Because if it wasn't for the sheriff and everybody else coming together, we wouldn't be where we are right now. I go around this state right now talking about the fact that crime in Prince George's County is at a 30-year low. That didn't happen because of Chief Stawinski. It didn't happen because of Mark McGall. It happened because collectively everybody came together. We're the folks who really are setting out the plan. But to put that plan into motion, to put that plan into action, that's you. You're the people, you're the ambassadors for Prince George's County, for Bowie, for the park department, for the sheriffs. You're really the ambassadors for all of us to the public. They're not going to come into action with us when there's an issue. They're going to come into action with you. Interaction. And so how you handle that situation, how you react to that situation, is going to tell them everything they need to know about Prince George's County and the people here. So if we want the world to know that we have the greatest police department, the city of Bowie, the sheriff's department, the park, that we have the greatest anywhere in the world, you're the people who are going to carry that out. I want you to keep that in mind. That what you signed up for, whether you realize it or not, you signed up to be public servants. Probably even more so than somebody like myself who ran for the office. That's what you're going to do for the rest of your career in one of these departments. You're going to be a public servant. And I want you to keep that in mind. I'm very proud, and I'll close with this. One of the proudest moments that I have as county executive is not just coming here and looking at the new class, because many years ago, not here in the police department, but when I was in the Army, I sat where you were and just as frightened as could be that, whether I would make it through and whether I would want to do that job afterwards. But I'm proud to, come here and stand before you. The other thing I'm proud about is when I see all of the stuff going on across the nations with other law enforcement agencies and how the community reacts to them, and then I come back here home to Prince George's County and know how the community feels about us and these people who are training you, it is a difference. And so we want you to carry on that tradition. You're stepping in one of the finest institutions there is. One of the finest. You're going to make great friends in this process, but you're going to learn a lot that's going to help you during your career in law enforcement, but even beyond. And we're just proud to be associated with that. So learn a lot, be safe, and do a great job. God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Baker. And I'm just going to add to that very briefly and point out, and I have been, at this point, literally around the world representing this institution. You will not find in many places where the head of government, the county executive, the mayor, the governor, take the time to come and introduce themselves to you. You need to understand his personal investment in who you are and what you do. And you need to value that from day one, because there are places where we are on that line protecting the public and we are there by ourselves. And that is not the case in Prince George's County, no matter which of these institutions you are working with. Is that clear?
Sir, yes, sir.
Now, my privilege to introduce to you a prior chief of the Prince George's County Police Department, and in my view, and I've said this publicly, we, like the military, our generals, our admirals in military service, they never retire. They just become inactive. So Sheriff High is not the sitting chief of police, but he is a former chief of this department, and he's accorded the same respect as chief, but he's also the elected sheriff. So I'm going to introduce Sheriff High to you next and have him to make a few remarks. Sheriff?
Thank you, Chief. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Well, listen, Mr. Baker, our county executive, has me, the elected sheriff, one of the important things that we do is bring you greetings and welcome on behalf of all of our citizens. And just to share with you in a moment some of their hopes, expectations, and their desires and dreams for you. They want you to be the greatest, to continue to make this organization, all of law enforcement in Prince George's County, the greatest there is, and to understand the concept of protect and serve. And so that's very critical. So we bring that into you and say that our citizens expect you to accomplish so much. And what they've said to Mr. Baker and myself and the chief and Mr. McGaw and all of us standing here is that we want you to be about teamwork. Because we know everybody can accomplish much, much more through teamwork. And so as you sit here, you are at the next phase of teamwork. And so we have Student Officer Battle.
Yes, sir.
And over here is Wigmore. Is that it?
Sir, yes, sir.
And all of you are part of a team. And so this is going to be a rigorous, a vigorous place for you for the next several months, so that you become those officers and deputies that our citizens expect and deserve. Seats.
Sir, yes, sir.
And so, but you have to work together, and you begin that, understanding that process here. Some of you will be stronger in your academics. Some of you will be stronger physically and in the other various endeavors that you will undertake here. But it's about helping each other and all of you to get through the process so that the monies we have invested in you on behalf of our citizens is not misspent or misplaced. Do you understand?
Sir, yes, sir.
So we're looking for you to build that team concept so that you understand the rudiments of that when you come out to serve on our streets. And you'll bring that capacity with you. And so you'll make our agency stronger and better. You'll infuse us with your new energy. And so we'll be bigger and better when you arrive. And you'll help us to move forward into the future to make our communities safe places to live for our citizens. I thank you, particularly those in the sheriff's office who decided to come and join us. I look forward to your graduation, so I want you to work hard, work as a team, so that everybody graduates. The best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Sheriff. Now, I'd like to introduce to you Chief Stanley Johnson of the Maryland National Capital Park Police. Chief?
First, I want to congratulate you all for making it this far and also making it through the first week of the academy. I know you guys enjoyed that. Everybody enjoyed that? Wasn't that a lot of fun?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, I'm sure it was. But when I see you all, I go back to when I first came to the police department over 30 years ago. And it was an opportunity that I really thought about all my life, how I could serve the community. And what you're taking on is a noble profession. It's not the right profession for everybody. So that's the reason for that first week, just to see who you are and what you're made of. But it's just the start. This is really just the start. 30 years ago, the demands of our society were a little bit less great as they are today. The expectation is much higher. People are watching you. You have cameras all over the place. People are easy to criticize, and they find it a hard time to really give you respect at times that you deserve in doing your job, and also to appreciate you. So when you're taking on this job, the time is going to be thankless. You guys have to think about that. You also have to think about if this is really the career for you, because it's a tough job today. You guys see what's going on around the nation, around the country. You have to really think about, is this the career that you want to take on? Because there are going to be tough times. This is just the start of your career. When you get through this academy, you're going to go back to your departments, have field training. It might be as tough, if not tougher. Then you're going to have to deal with society as a whole, the people that appreciate you. Then you have to deal with the people that don't like you. And you have to navigate through all of that. But you have to remember your organizational values. You have to remember the values inside you, such as integrity, respect for others, things like that. You guys have made it so far. You got through the background process. It's more difficult than it's ever been. The training part is now in the academy. In a little while, you get out on the street and really put all of that into work. And then you're going to be on your own, and that's when the real, true person comes out. How do you treat your community? How do you treat each other? The respect you have just for the job itself. Are you going to be a person of integrity? Are you going to do the right things when nobody's watching and you can do something different or something that's wrong? You have to think about that. And also, just our society is so much more violent today than it used to be. That's why we're going to give you all the tools to be successful in the academy. Those park police officers, when you come back to us, you're going to get the tools you need to be successful. We're going to give you all of the equipment for you to be safe and for you to be able to do your job as effectively as possible. But I want to congratulate everyone. This is just the start, though. Remember that there's going to be high demands on you. There's going to be some demands dealing with people that are good people, dealing with the evil side of society. And you guys have an opportunity just to do what's right and what's wrong at times. That's the choice you have to make. I think most of you made the right choice so far. Wanting to be in a profession where people overall are going to appreciate you because it's a job that everyone can't do. But I wish you all the best. We're going to do our best to give you everything you need to be successful. We expect the best out of you all. We want you to do your best and give us 100%. Everybody in here might not make it, and sometimes that's a good thing. But we want you to do the best that you can because you are deserving to be in the seats that you're in right now. And with that, I'll say good luck to you. Wish you all the best. The start of a great career. If anything we could do to make you successful, just let somebody know. I'm looking forward to our 6 officers getting back to the park police because we need you out there in the community. And God bless you.
Thank you, Chief. Now I'd like to introduce to you a friend of mine, formerly a deputy chief for the Prince George's County Police Department, now the assistant chief of the city of Bowie, Chief Preston.
Thank you, Chief. It's my privilege to be here to address you all today. I've had the honor to work with everyone standing behind me, and I've learned a great deal. You all have the wonderful opportunity to enjoy a wonderful career in law enforcement. What you all have to understand is that a lot of people attempted to obtain the seats that you all occupy today, but you all were the ones that were selected. So there's a great deal of responsibility, there's a great expectation that we all have for each and every one of you all. Not only us, but also the citizens which we all desire to serve. One thing I'm proud to say is that while I may no longer be a member of the Prince George's County Police Department, I believe that there's a collective bond amongst all law enforcement within Prince George's County. And so you all sit here together without patches on your shoulder, regardless of what department you represent. Sheriff Hyde said it best that you're a team. You need to operate as such. And once you get out of this academy, you may still don a uniform that may have a different patch. We all work together as a team. Because collectively we want to make sure that Prince George's County has the best law enforcement officers possible. So again, I welcome you all, look forward to your achievements, and I hope to see you all at graduation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chief. And now briefly, I'm going to have the Executive Command Staff of the Prince George's County Police Department introduce themselves to you and give you some sense of what they are responsible for. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll each take a minute and introduce yourselves, I'd appreciate it. Starting with Assistant Chief Hector Velez.
I'm Assistant Chief Hector Velez. I have the privilege to work with the chief. Basically, what I do is I oversee the 4 bureaus. I ensure that the bureau chiefs have the resources that they need to accomplish their missions. Thank you, and good luck and welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Deputy Chief Raphael Grant, I oversee the Bureau of Administration and Homeland Security. I oversee risk management, the training education division, recruiting, background, and the personnel division. A lot of y'all, when y'all were going through the process, my recruiters were the one who gave y'all your APRT test to run, and my background investigators was the one that did your background. So I'm pretty sure y'all remember seeing people around y'all when y'all were doing that test, and they're not here any longer because we picked the best out of that group, that pool. So we welcome y'all here. Hope to see everybody at graduation, and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I am Deputy Chief Sami Patel. I have the Bureau of Investigation. In this bureau, there are 4 divisions: the Narcotic Enforcement Division, the Special Investigation Division, the Criminal Investigation Division, and lastly is the Regional Investigation Division. So in this bureau, we investigate everything from the smallest crime, burglaries, to thefts, shoplifters, all the way up to the homicides and the major cases in narcotics, gangs, and such. So with that, granted, you're not going to start in my bureau, but I wish you all the best of luck in your career, and hopefully one day you'll be able to make it into investigations.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Carlos Acosta. I'm the Inspector General for the Prince George's County Police Department. As such, one of the things that I do is I work on constitutional policing. This department has had an IG on various occasions. I've been here about 5.5 years. To give you an idea of what the chief is talking about, what the other members have talked about, and the stature of this police department. For example, next week, Venezuela, which you may or may not know, is in the middle of an incredible civil unrest. Their country's frankly falling apart. Their judges are fleeing their country. The American Bar Association State Department has put together something next week where they're going to talk about how to reestablish rule of law. Federal judges there, state judges there, and they're going to have this police department there because we're an example of how to do it right. We're an example of how people get their rights protected by the police department and how professional police departments work. Remember that this police department is the top 0.5% of departments in the United States. When we join the league with the Sheriff's Office, with the Park Police, with VUI, you've got a law enforcement organization in this county that's really above all others, and it's shown by the faith that the State Department has in asking us to attend this and to basically tell them this is how you run it professionally from the standpoint of civil rights and ensuring that people's rights are being respected, which is what you will be doing. So good luck to you, and I hope to see you out on the street.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, sir.
My name is George Nichols. I'm the Deputy Chief in charge of the Bureau of Forensic Science and Intelligence. So some of the things that fall within my purview are the DNA labs, firearms examination unit, drug lab, property records management, automated enforcement, and I have a criminal intelligence unit which encompasses our gun intelligence unit, which are assigned to the ATF to combat some of this violent crime and the gun crimes within the county. Sounds pretty cool, right? So, unfortunately, you guys won't get to start with me either. However, I want to hang on one word that you've heard all throughout these discussions, and that's opportunity. You have an opportunity to come to my bureau, Deputy Chief Patel's bureau, and anywhere within the department and your respective agencies to make a difference. But take this opportunity also to look at what is going on nationwide. You also have an opportunity to make a difference nationally, not just here, nationally. Look forward to seeing you guys at graduation. Good luck and Godspeed.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, class.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
We met, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Jennifer Donellan, Director of the Media Relations Division. So I'm not going to talk, I'm going to ask you a question. Tell these folks anything that you learned after we spoke for about an hour. Show of hands. What's the one thing I made you repeat? Okay, go.
Student Officer Langdon, ma'am. Operate as if everything is being filmed, ma'am.
Cameras are everywhere. Is that what you were going to say?
Student Officer, yes, ma'am.
Okay, and is that what you were also going to say?
Student Officer Brady, yes, ma'am.
Okay, well then I did my job. Thank you. This is who you will be starting out with, Deputy Chief Murtha.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Deputy Chief Murtha, I oversee the Bureau of Patrol. 7, soon to be 8 patrol district stations. You'll all be assigned to the Bureau of Patrol. We also have the Special Operations Division and Community Services Division. For those of you strong enough, you'll spend your entire career in patrol and you'll love life. For those of you who want to flee patrol and go to someplace else, you have other options. Look forward to seeing the strong among you survive out there. I'll just offer you this. In 25 years, when you're retired and you have to look yourself in the mirror, some of the people in this room will be able to look yourselves in the mirror and say, I was professional, I did a great job, I earned my retirement. Some of you will do everything but police work in your career. There's a lot of opportunity to do both. I implore you to be proud of yourself at the end of your 25 years and be able to look yourself in the mirror and say, I was a good police officer. If you have to convince yourself of that, you probably weren't. Look forward to everybody in this room being able to say, I was a good police officer. So good luck and see you out there.
Thank you, sir.
Morning, I'm Major Jackie Raftery. I'm Chief of Staff. My job is to get the chief wherever he needs to be, to basically run his office. But what you really need to know me for is I'm in charge of cars. So that's important to everybody, because when you get cut loose from your FTO, that's what you're going to want. And so we'll come back in later on and we'll have a class on that and what you can and can't do, and how you can get that car, because that's what you're going to be concerned about. Have a good day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Major. Marker back there somewhere. Rubicon. Who can tell me what that is, where it is, and why I might be having a conversation with you about it now?
Student Officer Lynn, are you referring to the Rubicon off-roading trail?
No, sir. Next. Very well. Be interested in everything. If you want to succeed in what we do, be interested in everything. You never know when knowing a thing will turn an event in your favor, or in the public's favor, or in the institution's favor. The Rubicon is a river. It's a river in what is currently Italy. It runs not too far from a city you may have heard of, called Rome. And 49 years before Jesus Christ, a man by the name of Julius Caesar led the legions across that river, which was an act of treason. Prior to this event, Rome was a republic. You live in a republic. After this event, Rome became Imperial Rome, a dictatorship. And Julius Caesar was the first emperor. Crossing the Rubicon in the 2,000 years since that event, so consequential that we recall it today, means making a decision that is consequential and from which there is no turning back. When Caesar led the legions across the Rubicon, he knew that he would either be killed for inciting treason against the Republic of Rome, or he would rule Rome. And whether you realize it or not, I want to make it very clear to you that you have crossed a Rubicon. No matter what you choose to do from this day forward, if you decide after I finish and walk out of this room that this isn't for you, it doesn't matter. Forever, you will still be associated with this institution. And as I stand here today, I and my family have invested 61 years in this institution dating back to 1956. Remove from your mind any doubt the lengths that I will go to ensure the integrity of this institution. And in that vein, I expect the following. Repeat after me. I am joining the institution.
Am joining the institution.
The institution is not joining me.
Joining me.
Again. I
am joining the institution. The institution is not joining me.
Again.
I am joining the institution. The institution is not joining me.
It's not about you. It ain't about me. This matters far more than this. Your name is small My name is small. This was here before you got here, and it'll be here after you're gone. Best case scenario for you in 2042. Right?
Sir, yes, sir.
This is far more important than this. It ain't about you. That's my expectation. You work for the institution. You will culture it. You will put the institution in its proper perspective in your lives. And understand, and it was said, this is not UPS. This is not chartered accountancy. This is not medicine or architecture. In those professions, you might go out on a weekend, a day off, an evening, and do God only knows what, and it doesn't matter. Understand that from this day forward, you go out and do the wrong thing at the wrong time, and this goes away. You're held to a far higher standard. I will hold you to that standard. You will serve. We are first to serve. Now, in balance for that sacrifice, understand this, that in this community and on this institution, you have more opportunities to advance the art and science of policing than anywhere else in the world. I didn't stutter when I said it. I just got back from China, representing you, now part of this institution, and how we do business at the General Assembly for Interpol. The assistant chief just got back from Israel, looking at how counterterrorism is done and how it can be done more effectively. If you're interested in leading in policing, there's about a half a dozen credentials that anyone will tell you have to have if you're going to be an applicant and a serious contender for one of those jobs. I have all of them. But so does everybody else standing up here. And almost nobody in policing can say that. I've taken what we do and I've made presentations at Harvard University 6 times as the county executive. And I don't tell you that to talk about what I've achieved or what this command staff has achieved. I'm telling you that because if you joined up thinking you're going to spend your career working in one county, doing things in this county, and you're going to think within the box of this county, you're wrong. We're already nationally known and becoming internationally known. People are asking us, how do you do it better than everybody else? We got 2 grants from the Department of Justice just last week because we do safety on the streets better and because we do human trafficking prevention better than anybody else. You joined a very sophisticated policing community in Prince George's County. And you'll go exactly as far as you choose to go. And every opportunity to lead here at the state level, at the national level, and yes, internationally, is yours. But no one's going to hand it to you. It's entirely up to you. So, from this point forward, we've had our discussion. You have crossed the Rubicon. You are, no matter what your eventual professional significance, or if you may choose to think of it as this way, insignificance may be, you will always be associated with this institution. So my expectations of you are high, perhaps higher than you have of yourself. And this institution leads. And I tell you that at the beginning because that's the attitude I expect you to have from this day forward. How do we do it better? Why do we do it better? And how can I move the institution forward? Is that quite clear? Sir, yes, sir. And with that, I'll conclude.